What's going on, y'all? Finishing up this set of chair dips. And hold on. So I wanted to say something. A lot of my messages are kind of like this, but I'm gonna still say it. All of this stuff with fitness starts in your mind. Now, before you just kind of write off what I'm saying, it's just kind of like, just like some sort of just motivational, just kind of fluff. Like, understand what I'm saying. This is the reason why a lot of us are not healthy, or at least not in really good shape, especially if we want to be. It's because of our mindsets. Specifically, what we end up doing is we end up actually lacking belief in what we can accomplish. Period. We lack belief in what we can accomplish, and so we limit ourselves by our own mindsets. And I guess I'm trying to find a way to explain it where it doesn't seem like, I'm being any sort of way. But it's so true. It's so true. I realize that the reason that people achieve what they achieve is because they believe they can. But if you don't believe that you can achieve certain kind of things, then you will not even go after those things, because you're gonna rationalize like, well, I could never bench press 300 pounds. I'm too lanky. I could never lose all that weight. I'm so much older now. I don't have my metabolism is low. And all these things that we tell ourselves that aren't even really accurate. Grab some of these. So, when I was in high school, you couldn't tell me that I was going to be doing 20 rep sets of chin-ups. You couldn't tell me that because I couldn't do one. I couldn't do one chin-up. But what happened was, when I went on YouTube years ago, I'm talking about late 2000s, like 2009, 2010, 2011, whenever I started seeing the videos of people doing all these calisthenics and getting all these reps and building muscle, it really stirred something up on the inside of me to want it. And because of my experience in exercise up until that point, I did know enough to know that if you stick with something, then your body will respond by becoming stronger and able to lift more, able to do more reps and all that kind of stuff. So it was that little bit of belief, kind of like the Bible says, a grain of mustard seed sized faith, that propelled me forward. And so, but you figure somebody else could be like, man, I've always, everybody in my family's been weak, this, that, and the other, all these reasons why they couldn't do 20 rep sets of chin-ups. But like, again, I'm telling y'all, I was the person who was like, I couldn't do a push-up, or at least if I did a push-up, it would be a half rep and it'd be sloppy. And I definitely couldn't do any sort of chin-ups and whatnot. But I had a little bit of belief that I could work on it. And so I started out very small and sloppy and weak, but I built up to this. Now, you haven't seen me over these past, this past decade and a half or more working on my chin-ups, but I'm telling you that it's true. So, I'm about to go, let me get some of these dips to say. And by the way, you see I'm kind of doing like supersets between chair dips and chin-ups, this is kind of like my arms getting worked out, even though, you know, chin-ups are going to do back as well. It's mainly triceps and biceps getting worked. But anyway, I say that to say, you just have to believe. It really is, it's true. It's true. One thing I've come to realize over time is how much, well, because of the fact that everything that we do starts inside, it starts inside, then a lot of times what we have to do is not simply look at what somebody does and just try to go through their emotions. It's like you got to work on the inside of yourself. So I'll tell you this, like for example, again, a lot of people are trying to lose weight. If you want to lose weight and you have a lot to lose, cool, you can do it, period. So you have to believe that. But first, what you have to understand is you have to kind of become that. You have to become that person. You have to believe. Like you really have to believe. So like, if you're kind of going back and forth, you kind of have to recognize, okay, what is it inside of me that don't believe? There's something inside of me that does not believe. You know, maybe you kind of start doing stuff and then you get on the weight scale and then you see that you gained a pound, and so then you get really discouraged and you give up. And so that really is kind of like an area of of unbelief, because like, man, I knew it wasn't going to work. But to just believe in that instance means that you're like, no, I'm doing this. This is what I'm going to get. So I'm going to keep on going. So believing means in essence that you don't quit. Let me get some of these reps in. I got to get 75. But I believe that belief in part means that when you decide on something, like you're not going to quit. Another thing I believe is that if you really want to cultivate or kind of like become the kind of person, for example, who loses 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, then you need to, well, the way, I think a way to cultivate that is by feeding yourself with stuff that you look at, stuff that you hear that will educate you and that will motivate you toward losing that weight. Or, you know, even like, for example, somebody like me who's wanted to gain weight in the past, you know, I had to educate myself, you know, feed myself with things that are going to further me toward that goal, even put myself around certain kind of people as well. Because literally, you know, we become what we're around. It's something about the way we are as humans. We're very moldable by our external environments. So, but the cool thing about it is that you and I can be very intentional about our environments. It kind of reminds me of the story in the Bible where this man asked Jesus to heal his daughter or something like that, and they finally got, they had to walk back to the man's house, and then when they got there were people there who were professional mourners or something like that. But anyhow, they were like, don't trouble the teacher, she's already dead. But Jesus looked at the man and was like, look, don't be afraid, just believe. And then whenever they got into the house, basically Jesus kicked everybody out. All these people who were in there who were mourning, and then also whenever he was about to do something, they were kind of laughing because they figured it was preposterous. He actually moved all of them out. So he knew that their lack of belief could contaminate whatever belief that the Father himself had. And so anyway, I'm saying all that to say, you really have the opportunity and the chance to cultivate your own belief, I guess, in accomplishing whatever your health and fitness goal is, by shaping your environment intentionally. A lot of times we're not intentional about our environment, and so we just kind of get what we get, you know. So, you know, look at people who motivate you fitness-wise. Do like some people do and get like cut out a picture of somebody who looks the way you want to look, and put a picture of your head on top of their body or something like that. Different things like that. Or, listen to podcasts, hang out with people, get workout buddies who are very serious about reaching similar goals as you, people who are going to push you and people who aren't going to let you kind of like skip out on workouts all the time or eat wrong. Like, this is the way that we cultivate our belief and help us to reach these health and fitness goals. And this is the way that we kind of stop spinning our wheels and kind of going in the same cycle where we get motivated and then we fall off, and then we get motivated and then we fall off. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. So yeah, hopefully something I said makes sense. I say this based on my personal experience. I say this based on a lot of what I study in regard to the way the mind works. A lot of what I study in regard to like my personal faith in God. And just observing, even what I've observed from people I've trained or questions that people ask me, to cultivate belief that helps you to reach whatever your personal health and fitness goal is, you have to be really intentional. Like I said, with shaping your environment, you have to be very intentional about when you go for something, don't quit, And then also something that I'm really working on is pay attention to the small details too. It's like, I think all you really need to do for that, well, I won't say all you need to do, but just be aware. Because sometimes, say for example, like even here now, I was doing chin-ups for this set, and for one of the sets, about two of the reps, I felt something that was uncomfortable in this arm right here. And so I kind of had to do an adjustment, and then they felt normal again. So even kind of like paying attention to like what your body's telling you, paying attention to things that work for you better than other things, that allow you to continuously improve and reach your health and fitness goals. So remember, this stuff all starts here. It all starts here. I say this and I'll be done. You may even, like if you're wanting to lower your blood pressure, see what you can do to lower your blood pressure, or even numbers related to diabetes or whatever. You may even post a picture somewhere of like a healthy blood pressure, and then just kind of like remind yourself that this is what you're going for. You're going for a number like this. And then you start to move in faith toward that. Okay? Because again, what you're doing is, it's not just like wishful thinking. It's you creating an environment in yourself that helps you to kind of go in that direction. Like I said, it's not some sort of weird stuff or magic or anything. It's just literally understanding that you and I are so easily molded by what we take in. And so, because we can be intentional about that, then we might as well intentionally feed our belief so we can go ahead and reach these health and fitness goals. If this spoke to you, comment below. I finished my little mini workout here now, so I'm gonna get back to work. But just let me know if this motivates you, all right? See y'all next time. As we get older, it becomes increasingly important to maintain and build muscle. Muscle helps you burn fat, stay mobile, and can contribute to longevity. However, many people have no idea how to work out to build muscle. My mini workout series on Patreon provides you with my bodyweight mini workout video library. These workouts use little to no equipment, which means that you can do them in the privacy of your own home.
They start at beginner level and progress from there to ensure you continue to see results. Every workout is a full body workout, hitting chest, back, legs, and glutes, as well as other muscles in between. Become a patron today and receive access to my series of mini workouts, plus access to a digital copy of my book, 8 Weeks to Transform Your Diet and Your Health. By combining the workouts with healthy diet changes, as outlined in my book, you'll definitely be on your way to weight loss, improved health, and visible results. Join me at patreon.com/SeanB2B Fitness today.